Hello, everybody. Today we are going to I'm going to do a quick mini lesson on Mexico's economy. Sorry for not starting off with my name. My name is Mark Rodriguez, and here today I'm going to be focusing on GDP growth, unemployment, and corruption, and just overall how they all connect. This is all based on research I did earlier in a part two that I did, which honestly taught me way more about Mexico than I had expected. So it's pretty interesting, You sometimes can learn a lot more than you had expected. So let's start with what even is GDP? That's the main thing right here that we need to focus on. So GDP, just to begin and kind of sum it up, is essentially the total market value of all final goods and services a country produces in one year. Pretty much, it tells us how big the economy is and how fast it's growing. It's kind of like a country's progress report, I guess you could say. For Mexico, GDP growth has slowed down recently. That means the economy isn't expanding as fast, which affects people's incomes, job opportunities, and overall just quality of life. GDP gives us the bigger picture a bigger picture view of how a country is doing. So this slowdown is a pretty big deal, even if the term GDP sounds kind of boring at first, or you don't really doesn't maybe sound like a big deal. Um, so unemployment and informal jobs um, is basically when people want a job but can't find one. Mexico's unemployment rate looks low on paper. I have a little graph right here on the right, and then a little cartoon man with a little cartoon graph and a cartoon case, business case. Just wanted to throw that in there. Um, as I was saying, Mexico's unemployment rate looks lower on paper, but it hides a huge issue. Informal jobs. These are jobs with no contracts, no benefits, or like no job security. So basically, just like a type of job where you're like basically open. Okay, I hope I get paid this week, or just kind of trying to make ends meet. Millions of people work informally, so even though they aren't counted as unemployed, the jobs aren't really stable or good paying, so they're not really getting much out of it. So the challenge in Mexico isn't just unemployment; it's the quality of jobs people have, that and they're living out of. Next, I want to talk about corruption. Mexico has some of the highest corruption levels in all of Latin America. America. And it affects almost every part of the economy. Corruption makes doing business more risky and more expensive. It scares off investors, slows down new businesses, and reduces just job opportunities as a whole. It also makes it harder for the government to collect money and run programs because corruption gets in the way every single time. It's like just trying to think about it like this: you're trying to fix a car, but someone keeps taking the tools, or they keep stealing the tools. It's like, what are you gonna do with that? You know what I mean? Like, what? Just do it by hand? No, I'm just kidding. All this just creates a chain reaction that connects back to GDP and unemployment. Um, so here I have a quick practice question. I want to start off. If corruption makes investors leave Mexico, keep that in mind. What kind of chain reaction does that cause? So think about this. How would corruption overall affect new job creations, business investment, overall GDP growth? Take a second and picture how those things connect. I like to kind of think about it like a economic dominoes. That little image on the right, it's the exact same thing as the little bullet points on the left with the question. Just kind of wanted to put a little image there showing like an investor kind of showing the money to Mexico, and Mexico being worried, for obvious reasons. Sorry, I'll shut up. Just think about that. Okay, now we thought about it. Here are the answers for the quick practice question. So for the new job creation, business investment, GDP growth, I have them listed. For new job creation, there'd be few jobs, just fewer new jobs, my bad, because corruption makes businesses not want to hire, expand. For business investment drops, since companies don't want to put the money into, a place that feels risky and just unfair. And then GDP growth is, with less investment, fewer jobs, the economy. Oh my goodness, I'm having a freaking tongue. Ah, that's so bad. Economy, I'm sorry, slows down, and GDP grows more slowly. So corruption basically starts a chain reaction that hits everything. One problem leads to the next. So next is a mini quiz I have made for you guys to, kind of just think about. Um, Number one is, what does GDP measure? A, savings. B, total value produced. Population for saying. Number two, how does corruption affect unemployment? A, creates jobs. B, scares off investors. C, no effect. And three, true or false, a country can have low unemployment but still have unsafe or low paid jobs. Think about that for a second. No pressure. I'm not grading you. If anything, pressure's on me. I'm getting graded. That was just a joke I wanted to throw in there. Uh, think about that. So here are the answers. For one, it's B. For two, it's B. And for three, it is true. Um, you know, Going back to that, there's the answers. I hope you got those correct. But with that being said, I wanted to say thank you for watching. I hope this mini lesson helped explain how GDP, unemployment, and corruption connect in Mexico. Uh, I tried my best to keep it quick, but still helpful. So hopefully this jam-packed mini lesson was enough to help you learn and get to know something, just like I did. Thank you so much, and see ya.